Dr. Elaine Kowalski hadn't slept in 36 hours. This wasn't unusual for a single mom with a full-time job at the Department of Energy, a part-time research position in quantum physics, and a 17-year-old son who seemed biologically incapable of cleaning his room or meeting a curfew. "Milo," she shouted up the stairs for the third time. "You're going to be late for school again, and I'm not writing another excuse note." The house answered with silence. Typical. Elaine sighed, placed her coffee mug in the sink with more force than necessary, and stormed up the stairs. Her sensible work heels clicked a rhythm of maternal frustration on each step. She'd completed her doctoral thesis in less time than it typically took to get her son out of bed. "I swear to God, Milo, if you're still sleeping." She pushed open his bedroom door to find nothing. No Milo, no rumpled bedding. His backpack was gone too. Strange. Milo never left for school early. He considered punctuality a character flaw. Elaine checked her phone. No messages. She called his number. Straight to voicemail. "This better not be another spontaneous field trip to Comic-Con," she muttered, remembering the incident from 3 months ago. That's when she noticed her home office door was ajar. A chill ran down her spine. Her office was strictly off-limits to Milo. Not because she didn't trust him, but because she absolutely didn't trust him. Not with the quantum entanglement device she'd been developing in her spare time. The device, affectionately nicknamed QUID for Quantum Universal Integration Device, sat on her desk, glowing with a faint blue light it had never emitted before. Next to it lay a hastily scrawled note. "Mom, borrowed QUID to test a theory. Back soon. Love, Milo." "Oh, you have got to be kidding me," Elaine hissed through clenched teeth. She examined the device. The calibration settings had been altered. The quantum field stabilizer was running hot. And the spatial coordinates input screen showed a series of numbers that made her blood run cold. Those weren't Earth coordinates. They weren't even solar system coordinates. Elaine frantically checked the device's log. Last activation, 2:37 a.m. Current status, cooldown cycle. She collapsed into her desk chair, massaging her temples. Most parents worried about their teenagers sneaking out to parties or experimenting with recreational substances. Her son had apparently decided to experiment with interstellar travel. Her phone rang. It was her boss at the DOE. "Elaine, where are you? The Kazakian delegation has been waiting for 15 minutes. Ted, I can't make it in today. Family emergency. Is everything all right?" Elaine stared at the quantum device that had apparently teleported her only child to another star system. "No, Ted. Everything is not all right. My teenage son has just broken several laws of physics before breakfast. I'm going to need some personal days." After hanging up, Elaine did what any responsible scientist and mother would do. She checked the power readings on the QUID, calculated the probable destination based on the coordinates, and made a list of supplies. Item 1, a larger coffee thermos. This was going to require a lot of caffeine. Elaine hadn't cried yet. Crying wouldn't help find Milo. Instead, she'd spent the last 12 hours doing what she did best, solving impossible problems with science and sheer stubborn determination. "Think, Elaine," she muttered to herself as she paced her basement laboratory. "Your son has accidentally teleported himself across interstellar space using your experimental device. Normal parenting books do not cover this scenario." The coordinates from the QUID pointed to the Proxima Centauri system, over 4 light-years away. At conventional travel speeds, she'd reach Milo in about 70,000 years. Not acceptable. Fortunately, Elaine had been working on something else besides the QUID, a theoretical framework for faster-than-light travel based on quantum tunneling principles. It wasn't ready. It wasn't tested. It was barely more than equations and sketch designs. But her son was out there, probably hungry and definitely grounded until the heat death of the universe when she found him. "Well," she said, rolling up her sleeves, nothing like maternal panic to fast-track a research project. For the next 3 days, Elaine barely left the basement. She cannibalized her car's engine, the microwave, the washing machine, and most of the electronics in the house. Neighbors who caught glimpses of her hauling strange metallic components into her garage assumed she was having some sort of midlife crisis. Not entirely wrong. By the fourth day, she'd constructed what could generously be described as a spacecraft. It looked like a minivan had mated with a satellite dish and given birth to something that violated several zoning ordinances. At its core was the modified QUID, now rigged to generate a sustainable quantum field large enough to envelop the craft and its passenger. She packed essentials: water, protein bars, first aid kit, tablet loaded with research papers she'd been meaning to read, and an economy-sized bottle of aspirin. She also packed Milo's baby photos, in case she needed to remind herself why she hadn't simply decided to start over with a new child after this. Before leaving, Elaine called her sister. "Hey, Rose. I need to go out of town for a few days to find Milo. Can you water my plants?" "No. I don't know exactly when I'll be back. Yes, I've called the police. No. They can't help with this particular situation. I'll explain everything when I return. Love you too." She climbed into her makeshift spacecraft, settled into the driver's seat, actually her living room recliner, and initialized the quantum field generator. The machine hummed to life, vibrating at frequencies that made her teeth ache. "GPS voice, eat your heart out," she said to no one in particular. "Destination, Proxima Centauri. Route guidance, don't die in space." She pressed the big red button, literally a button from an old Christmas decoration that played Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer when pressed, now rewired to activate the quantum drive. The last thing Elaine saw before reality bent around her was her neighbor Dave staring open-mouthed through his kitchen window as her garage appeared to implode. As the quantum field enveloped her and the familiar surroundings of Earth vanished in a blur of mathematical impossibilities, Elaine had only one thought. Milo is so grounded. Not metaphorically. I'm literally going to anchor him to the ground with cement boots. The journey lasted both an instant and an eternity, a peculiar side effect of quantum travel that Elaine would have found fascinating under different circumstances. But right now, all she cared about was that when reality reasserted itself, a red dwarf star burned in the view screen, her repurposed smart TV, and an alien world loomed before her. "Hold on, Milo," she whispered. "Mom's coming." The Proxima Custom and Immigration Office resembled nothing so much as the DMV from hell. If the DMV were designed by Octopi, with a passion for fluorescent lighting and unnecessary paperwork. Elaine stood in line behind various alien life forms, clutching a stack of forms she'd been handed upon landing. Next called a bored-looking alien with 4 arms and skin the color of a filing cabinet. Elaine stepped forward. "Hi, I'm looking for my son. Human teenager. About this tall, probably acting like the universe's gift to every species. He would have arrived about 5 Earth days ago via unauthorized quantum transport." The alien bureaucrat, whose name badge read Vork's Assistant Deputy Sub-Administrator Grade 7, blinked all 3 of its eyes in sequence. "Do you have a Form X7291B? Application for inquiry regarding unauthorized sentient entity location." "No, I have a worried mother's patience, which is running dangerously low." Without Form X7291B, properly authorized with biosignature verification, and submitted in triplicate to the Department of Extraplanetary Affairs, I cannot access the visitor registry. Elaine took a deep breath. "Look, Vorks. I've traveled over 4 light years chasing after my idiot teenager. I haven't showered in days. The protein bars I brought taste like sweetened cardboard. And I'm experiencing what humans call caffeine withdrawal. So here's what's going to happen. You're going to check if my son came through here, or I'm going to start making a scene that your bureaucratic nightmare of a planet will document for generations to come. Threats are prohibited under Statute 47B of the..." "That wasn't a threat," Elaine interrupted. "That was a weather forecast. I'm predicting a high chance of human maternal fury with scattered outbursts of me dismantling your entire administrative structure one ridiculous form at a time." 2 security guards with too many limbs approached. Elaine reached into her pocket and pulled out a small device that began emitting a high-pitched whine. "What is that?" Vorks asked, antennae twitching nervously. "Oh, this. Just a quantum field destabilizer. It interferes with molecular bonds. Mostly harmless, unless you happen to be a complex life form that enjoys having all its atoms in the correct arrangement." This was, of course, completely made up. The device was actually an egg timer she'd modified to blink and make noise. But Vorks didn't know that. Perhaps we can make an exception to protocol," Vorks stammered. 20 minutes and several bypassed layers of bureaucracy later, Elaine was sitting across from Grand Administrator Fex, the highest authority in the Proxima Centauri system. "So you're telling me," Fex said, his gelatinous form quivering with indignation, "that you threatened an administrative official with molecular destabilization to find your offspring?" "I like to think of it as cutting through red tape," Elaine replied. "And this quantum technology you possess, it allows instantaneous travel between star systems? When it's not being hijacked by teenagers, yes." Fex's eyes narrowed. "Such technology would revolutionize our society. Our scientists have theorized its possibility for centuries." "That's nice. Have you seen my son or not?" "He was here briefly. Caused quite a stir in the scientific division. Then departed 2 planetary rotations ago, after Fex consulted a tablet-like device, accessing our stellar cartography database and reprogramming your quantum device." "Did he say where he was going?" "The Tau Ceti system, according to our records." Elaine groaned. "Great. Just great. Can I get those coordinates?" "I'm afraid that's classified information. Such data would require authorization from the Council of Administrators, which convenes once per solar cycle. The next meeting is in 6 months. Something in Elaine snapped. Not audibly, but a distinct psychological snap that parents throughout the universe would recognize. "Listen carefully, Fex. I designed and built an interstellar spacecraft in my garage in 4 days using household appliances and pure maternal rage. Do you really think your bureaucracy is going to slow me down?" 2 hours later, Elaine departed Proxima Centauri with complete stellar charts, an official designation as a special diplomatic envoy of Earth, and a promise that the Administrative Council would implement reforms to reduce paperwork by at least 60%. News reports across the system declared, "Alien mother overthrows 3,000-year-old bureaucracy with one parent-teacher conference's worth of frustration." As her craft entered quantum tunneling mode toward Tau Ceti, Elaine realized she'd accidentally sparked a governmental revolution, all because she'd channeled the same energy she used when arguing with Milo's high school principal about his physics grade. "This is not going on the Christmas newsletter," she muttered as space-time folded around her. The Tau Ceti system wasn't just militaristic, it was military fetishism taken to its logical extreme. Every asteroid had a defense turret. Every moon hosted a training academy. The planets were arranged in defense formations. Even the welcome message screamed aggression. "Unidentified vessel. You have entered restricted space. Prepare for immediate inspection or destruction." Elaine had dealt with aggressive PTA moms and entitled faculty members. This was familiar territory. "This is Dr. Elaine Kowalski of Earth. I'm looking for my son. He's about this tall, thinks he knows everything, and has probably insulted your military protocols already." There was a pause before the response came. "Earth vessel. You will be escorted to military platform Alpha 9 for questioning. Any deviation from assigned course will result in immediate disintegration." "Oh, for fine. Lead the way." A squadron of fighter ships surrounded her craft, guiding her to an enormous space station shaped like a weapon that was compensating for something. Upon docking, Elaine was greeted by a contingent of heavily armed soldiers and escorted to a command center that seemed to have been designed specifically to intimidate visitors. Dramatic lighting, oversized weapons displays, and uncomfortable seating, classic power play tactics. Admiral Vrex, Supreme Commander of the Tau Ceti Defense Force, was tall, imposing, and adorned with so many medals he listed slightly to the left when walking. His skin was metallic blue, and his 4 eyes scrutinized Elaine like she was a particularly disappointing tactical simulation. "So," he boomed, "you claim to be searching for your progeny?" "My son, yes. Teenager. About this tall. Probably acting insufferably superior about quantum physics." "Ah, the quantum prodigy." Vrex's voice apparently had no volume control. "He challenged our entire understanding of strategic deployment." Elaine pinched the bridge of her nose. "That sounds like Milo. What exactly did he do?" "He attended our military strategic session and questioned the efficiency of our dreadnought formations. Claimed our entire battle doctrine was so last century. Then demonstrated a quantum targeting system that rendered our planetary defense shields obsolete." "And then he left?" "After accepting a ceremonial weapon and the rank of honorary tactical advisor, yes." "Did he happen to mention where he was going next?" Vrex consulted a datapad, the Epsilon Eridani system. He expressed interest in their entertainment facilities. "Of course he did." Elaine sighed. "I need those coordinates, please." "Impossible. Such information is classified at the highest level. Only the War Council can authorize release of strategic navigational data." Elaine had reached her limit. "Admiral Vrex, let me explain something using terms you might understand. I am currently experiencing a condition humans call mom mode. This means I have not slept properly in days. I'm running on caffeine and irritation, and my patience reserves are critically depleted. Now or you can either give me those coordinates, or I can demonstrate why human mothers are the most terrifying force in any galaxy." "Are you threatening a military official?" No. I'm educating one. Let me put this in military terms. Remember how my son rendered your planetary defenses obsolete with quantum targeting? That's child's play compared to what I can do. I invented the technology he's using. I can recalibrate your entire defense grid to play cat videos on command." This was, again, mostly bluff. But Elaine had noticed how the station's systems integrated with quantum field technology similar to her own. She could, theoretically, cause some interesting malfunctions. Vrex narrowed all 4 eyes. "You would risk interstellar incident for one offspring?" Elaine stepped closer, lowering her voice to a deadly serious tone. "Admiral, throughout human history, there are countless stories of ordinary mothers lifting vehicles off trapped children. Imagine what a pissed-off mother with a doctorate in quantum physics could do to your battleships." 20 minutes later, Elaine had the coordinates to Epsilon Eridani, a ceremonial admiral's cape, which she had to admit looked pretty cool, and an honorary position on the Ceti War Council. As she departed, she overheard one officer whisper to another, "Is this what all Earth mothers are like?" "If so," the other replied, "we should reconsider our invasion plans." As her ship re-engaged its quantum drive, Elaine wondered if she was leaving a trail of interstellar incidents across the galaxy. But finding Milo took priority over diplomatic niceties. One more system, she told herself. And then you're grounded until graduation. If Proxima Centauri was bureaucracy incarnate, and Ceti was military madness, then Epsilon Eridani was capitalism cranked to 11. Every square inch of space was covered in advertisements. Ships couldn't dock without purchasing premium parking packages. Even the automated hailing messages came with upsell offers. Welcome to the Epsilon Eridani commercial hub. Your approach vector has been scanned and analyzed. Would you like to purchase our premium arrival package, including expedited customs clearance and complimentary decontamination? Only 9,999 credits. Say yes to authorize funds transfer. No, Elaine replied flatly. I'm looking for my son, human teenager. Probably spending money he doesn't have. Searching visitor registry, match found. For just 4,999 credits, we can provide exact location information for your specified human. Elaine's eye twitched. Listen carefully. I've overthrown a planetary government and intimidated an entire military force to get this far. I'm not paying 5,000 whatever you call them to find my kid. I understand your frustration. May I interest you in our basic location package? Only 2,999 credits. Limited accuracy, but... Let me speak to whoever's in charge. Now, connecting you to a sales representative. After navigating a customer service labyrinth that would make Dante weep, Elaine finally stood in the opulent office of Maximus Prophet, Chief Executive Officer of the Epsilon Eridani Commercial Consortium. His species appeared humanoid, except for golden skin and 6 fingers on each hand, all adorned with gaudy rings. Dr. Kowalski, he gushed with practiced charm. What an unexpected pleasure. I understand you're interested in our location services. Cut the sales pitch, Elaine said, collapsing into a chair. I've traveled across 3 star systems chasing my teenage son. I haven't slept in a real bed for days. I've accidentally reformed an alien bureaucracy and terrified a military dictatorship. I just want to find my kid and go home. Maximus steepled his fingers. A compelling narrative. We could market this as an adventure experience. Follow the Quantum Mom's journey. Premium package starting at just 49,999 credits per participant. Elaine stared at him. Are you seriously trying to monetize my parental distress? Everything is an opportunity, Dr. Kowalski. Speaking of which, your son's quantum technology, our R&D department estimates its market value at approximately 7.2 billion credits. Perhaps we could discuss an exclusive licensing agreement? Something inside Elaine, the last thread of maternal patience, snapped. Mr. Prophet, let me explain something about Earth mothers. We coupon. We comparison shop. We argue with customer service until we get satisfaction. I once spent 3 hours on hold with an internet provider over a $5 discrepancy. Your capitalism doesn't intimidate me. It just pisses me off. She pulled out her quantum device. This technology? I developed it in my basement while also making dinner and helping with homework. I could revolutionize your entire economy with it. Or I could crash it. Are you threatening me, Dr. Kowalski? Maximus asked, smile never wavering. I'm negotiating. Here's my offer. You tell me where my son is, and I'll give your scientists a 1-hour lecture on basic quantum field manipulation. That knowledge alone will advance your technology by decades. And if I refuse? Then I'll find him anyway, and on my way out, I'll release the quantum field stabilizer designs to every manufacturer in your system simultaneously. No patents, no licensing fees, complete market disruption. Maximus's smile finally faltered. That would cause economic chaos. Try me. I once organized a last-minute bake sale for 30 kids with only 6 hours' notice. Economic chaos doesn't scare me. 15 minutes later, Elaine had the exact location of her son, the stellar amusement megaplex on Epsilon Eridani IV. When she finally found him, Milo was holding court in a virtual reality arcade, surrounded by alien teenagers who watched in awe as he broke every high-score record in the establishment. And that's how quantum entanglement can theoretically be used to predict opponent moves before they make them, he was explaining as she approached. Milo Anthony Kowalski, Elaine said in the voice that had stopped playground bullies in their tracks since Milo was 6. The arcade went silent. Milo froze, then slowly turned around. Hi, Mom, he said weakly. I can explain? 3 star systems, Milo. I have traveled through 3 star systems looking for you. Wow, you got the QUID working for multiple jumps? That's awesome. I could only manage one-way trips so far. The look Elaine gave him could have frozen plasma. We're going home. Now. And you're grounded until the heat death of the universe. But Mom, no buts. Say goodbye to your new friends. As she dragged him toward the exit, she overheard one alien teenager whisper, Dude, your maternal unit traversed interstellar space to retrieve you? That's like epic parental commitment. Milo sighed. Yeah, my mom's pretty intense. For the first time in days, Elaine felt a smile threatening to break through her exhaustion. Getting ready to leave should have been simple. It wasn't. First came the delegation from Proxima Centauri, led by former Grand Administrator Fex, now called People's Representative Fex after the governmental reforms Elaine had accidentally inspired. Dr. Kowalski, Fex said, bowing deeply. The citizens of Proxima request that you accept the position of ongoing administrative consultant. Your efficiency reforms have increased public satisfaction by 78% and reduced processing times by 81.4%. That's flattering, but I really need to get my son home. Before Pex could respond, Admiral Vrex stormed in, cape billowing dramatically. Earth Mother. He boomed. The Ceti War Council demands your strategic insight. Your philosophical concept of because I said so has revolutionized our command structure. I was just using mom talk, Admiral. It's not a formal military doctrine. It has reduced insubordination by 94%. Finally, Maximus Prophet slithered into the increasingly crowded spaceport lounge, accompanied by a team of assistants carrying contracts. Dr. Kowalski, the preliminary data from your quantum lecture has already generated 12.3 billion credits in new ventures. We're prepared to offer you 8% of gross revenue as Chief Innovation Consultant. Elaine looked at the three alien leaders, then at Milo, who was trying very hard to disappear into his chair. This is your fault, she told him. My fault? I'm not the one who conquered 3-star systems. I didn't conquer anything. I just applied standard mom techniques to interstellar problems. Mom, you overthrew a government, intimidated a military dictatorship, and restructured an economy. That's basically the space equivalent of organizing the PTA fundraiser, coaching my soccer team, and redecorating the living room all in one weekend. Looking at the eager alien faces surrounding her, Elaine realized her son might have a point. Somehow, her desperate search had left a trail of major societal changes across 3-star systems. Gentlemen, she addressed the alien leaders, I'm flattered by your offers, but I have a teenager to get through high school and a job back on Earth. I can't be responsible for 3 civilizations as well. The disappointment was palpable. However, no, she continued, struck by inspiration, I propose an alternative. I'll accept a remote consulting position with each of your systems. Quarterly video conferences, email advice when needed, and an annual in-person visit. After my son graduates and we develop safer quantum transportation protocols. The compromise satisfied everyone. Contracts were signed, diplomatic relations established, and Milo looked increasingly horrified as he realized his mother was now essentially running 3-star systems part-time. You just became an interstellar consultant to 3 alien civilizations, he whispered as they prepared to board their makeshift spacecraft. That's going to look amazing on your resume. And you're still grounded, she reminded him, though I might reduce your sentence if you help me refine the QUID for safer travel. The journey home was surprisingly pleasant. With Milo operating the quantum drive he'd modified, they made the return trip in a single jump. They materialized in their garage exactly 2 weeks after Elaine had departed. Remarkably, the house was still standing, though the lawn needed mowing. Home sweet home, Elaine sighed as they disembarked. Now about your punishment. Before you decide, Milo said quickly, remember that I did advance human scientific knowledge by about 2 centuries and established first contact with 3 alien civilizations. You also stole my experimental device, disappeared without proper notice, and gave your mother gray hairs that no salon on Earth can fix. Fair point. What if I clean the garage? And my room? And make dinner for a month? Make it 2 months of dinner duty, plus you take detailed notes during my interstellar consulting calls for your senior science project. Deal. As they entered the house, Elaine's phone rang. It was her sister Rose. Where have you been? I've been worried sick. Did you find Milo? Elaine looked at her son, who was already raiding the refrigerator as if interstellar adventure worked up an appetite. Yes, I found him. It's a long story involving bureaucracy, military tactics, and economic theory. Sounds intense. Did everything work out? Elaine thought about the contracts in her bag, the the ceremonial admiral's cape folded neatly in her luggage, and the interstellar communication device disguised as a compact mirror that Maximus Prophet had given her for urgent commercial consultations. You could say that. I accidentally became an important figure in 3 alien civilizations while looking for him. Rose laughed. Classic Elaine, overachieving even in a crisis. What's next? Running for president? God, no, Elaine said, watching Milo attempt to hide the ceremonial alien weapon he'd received from Admiral Vrex. I have enough trouble governing one teenager. 3 star systems is my absolute limit. 6 weeks later, life had settled into a new normal. Elaine had converted the basement into a secure communications center for her interstellar consulting work. Milo had become surprisingly responsible after his adventure, though he still occasionally tried to improve household appliances with quantum modifications. During her first official consulting call with the Proxima Centauri Administrative Council, Elaine muted the connection momentarily to yell upstairs. Milo, homework first, then you can help me solve the Proximans' public transportation problem. 5 more minutes, Mom, came the response. I'm finalizing my college application essay, how I accidentally started an interstellar incident and my mom had to fix it. Elaine smiled despite herself. Being an accidental interstellar empress wasn't on any mother's bucket list, but somehow it felt like just another item on her already impossible-to-do list. Right between pick up dry cleaning and prevent alien bureaucracy from collapsing. Just another day in the life of a slightly pissed-off mom with a gifted kid and a quantum physics degree.